All right, guys, I'd like to close with one last question. So, what advice would you give to other people with autism who may be hesitant about speaking up with what they need as far as accommodations, whether they're a student or they're an employee?
Okay. Well, as mentioned earlier, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. So if you don't speak up, how can you expect to get what you are seeking? And a lot of times it might be difficult for people to read minds, whether you have autism or not. And people are not going to know what you need unless you say so. And also understanding that you might get a no answer. But in my experience in sales, it takes an average of 7 attempts for a potential customer to say yes. Sometimes you have to ask enough or go to another person, or if someone tells you no, I should say, ask, well, where can I find that help? Because where there's a will, there is a way. That's what my mother, her mantra was when she first found out about my diagnosis. Where there's a will, there is a way. All you have to do is keep being persistent enough and understand that failure, objection, or rejection are part of life. You're going to be told no or have some resistance or have some times where you get fired or you have to leave a particular place. But it's all putting you on a path to where you belong and where you need to be. So keep moving forward. Keep going through that darkness like Batman did, like I did. That's how you are going to be the light that others are seeking.
That's great advice. And David, what advice would you offer people who maybe are holding back from asking about specific accommodations they might need?
There is a Hebrew term that I would like to mention. This term is tikkun olam. Tikkun olam is the definition of repairing the world. If you are just sitting back and doing nothing, you're not making a difference. If you are going out there and telling people who you really are, then you are making a difference, no matter how long it may take, or no matter how much questions you would be asked about how different you are from others. So if you really care about your accommodations, and if you care about your needs, this is exactly what Tom said before. Now is the time to get out there and do it. Now is the time to really go out there and say who you are. There is also a quote from the famous Hillel, which is apparently my grandfather's favorite quote, and it's on his gravestone where he is buried at a cemetery out of the city. It goes like this: if I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? If not now, when? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. That will influence what you want to do out there. So, this is all on your plate. You go out there and do what you like, or you just sit around and do nothing except play games or, stuff that might have taught you things or probably just bores you out. And that is just how you have to really, really be wise about your decisions. Despite being hunkered down in this pandemic, that should not prevent you from getting your voice out there. This is exactly what I am doing right now. Even if I can't go anywhere, that is not preventing me from being the voice of advocacy. And this is exactly the scenario that I am in. And even connecting to Thomas Iland's love for Batman, because I love superheroes as well, Batman will never take off his mask until he saves the city and stops the Joker from spreading chaos. That is exactly how it will go. And right now, America is in a chaotic situation right now. And we would do anything of what we can to stop the violence from happening. We will do what we can to save each other and be there for one another.
And let me reemphasize before we close here that life doesn't come to you. It's up to you to come to life. That's the moral of my story. And it's what I want to tell the world. And I think this podcast is an awesome example how we can encourage people to see that they can go out there and make things happen for themselves, and they can make the world a better place.
You've been watching Autism Knows No Borders. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd love to hear from you, so let us know what you think in the comments section. Click here to watch this interview in its entirety. You can also find us on your favorite podcast app. Tune in each week for engaging conversations of how people across the globe are inspiring change and building community. Thanks for watching. Take care.